Okay, guys, so today I just learned something. I can actually get access to the Storm Prediction Center website on my phone. I was wondering how I can get access to it, and I finally learned by going to Safari and simply searching up stormpredictioncenter.noaa.gov. So here we are. And what you're looking at currently is the storms for today, August 18th, and you can see it's August 18th. So, yeah. So as you can see, we're gonna zoom in here. We have an enhanced risk for Charlotte over here in North Carolina. And we have a slight risk for Roanoke, I think that's how you say it, or Roanoke, I don't know, and Columbia of North Carolina. So for those of you who live in Charlotte, be prepared for strong thunderstorms, and yeah. And you can also see over here, there is a slight risk over here for parts of Utah and stuff. But it's not. But as you can see, if you're looking at the cities, none of them is on the slight risk. However, there's a marginal risk that we have for some places like Salt Lake City, Ketter City, Flagstaff, and Phoenix. So that's definitely something. And we're now going to be looking at our tornado threat. And, yeah. And just as we thought, Charlotte is going to get hit by isolated tornadoes. So again, for those of you who live in Charlotte, be prepared for strong thunderstorms and tornadoes. So that's a 10% over there. Over here, there's a 5% for, again, Columbia and Roanoke, I guess. And then a 2% in the green for, it doesn't look like it. I don't see any cities on the green, but anyways, let's move on to our wind threat. And, yep, Charlotte is going to get hit by some strong, damaging winds. And same with Roanoke and Columbia. And, yeah. And over here, we have a 15% chance for no places, because I don't see any places on the 15% chance. However, the same places from before are on the 5% risk, which is Salt Lake City, Ketter City, Flagstaff, and Phoenix. So let's look at our hail, and no hail threats over here, but there is a hail threat for, again, Utah, and portions of Arizona. Well, one place, because there's only one place of Arizona right there. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to our day 2, or day 1 outlook, I guess. I guess this is for like tomorrow or something. So, or day 1 or something. So anyways, the enhanced risk is now gone. And yeah, but however, there's still a slight risk over here for Baltimore and Washington in the District of Columbia there, D.C. Yeah, there's a marginal risk for a lot of places, for Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and portions of New York, including my place, Albany. Look at that, marginal risk on the Albany. And there's also a marginal risk over here for Utah and stuff. And possibly, yeah, and there's a marginal risk over here for Tennessee's too. and maybe and possibly portions in I don't really know. I mean, it doesn't say anything, but anyways, let's move on to our tornado threat, and oh boy, look at that. Look how close Albany is to that tornado threat. Look at that. That's so close. Seriously, it's just barely on there. It's on the line. Seriously, man, we're about to get destroyed here with this Tropical Storm Fred in display. But anyways, once again, 5%. Baltimore and Washington, same places, and tornado threat, portions of Pennsylvania and stuff, and yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and move on to our wind threat. And, oh, look at that. Utah again. And Tennessee's. And, oh boy, look at that. The whole dot is on the wind risk. For Albany right there. And, once again, Richmond and Philadelphia and Scranton and Baltimore and Washington. Let's go ahead and look at our hail risk, and I'm pretty sure there won't be any. Yeah, just as I saw, no hail risk. But there is a hail risk for portions of Utah and stuff like that, and yeah, Wyoming, Colorado, and Spanish Fork. So, yeah. Now let's go ahead and move on to the current day 2 outlook, or yeah, something like that. And all we have now is the slight risk for Cheyenne, Wyoming. So yeah, so it's just portions of Colorado and Wyoming, and then the marginal risk for Denver and Aurora and Lakewood and Thornton, stuff like that. And let's go ahead and move on to the tornado threat. And there's no tornado threat, which is pretty good. And, yep, Cheyenne, Wyoming, getting hit by the 15% wind risk and portions of other Colorado places. For the hail, this is, okay, the hail is kind of different. Now it's kind of northward. It's like parts of the Dakotas, I think. Well, it doesn't say anything about the Dakotas, so. But I mean, it's pretty much, I think it's at the Dakotas, possible. So, yeah. And yeah. And then the day 3, all there is just the marginal risk for Colorado and Dakotas, so. And then after that, at day 4, there was a slight risk right here, if I can get it. Yeah, right here. Yeah, for Sioux Falls and stuff. But that's pretty much it for that. And yeah, and that's all I got for you guys. And yeah, and right there is just the thunderstorm outlooks, but it's obvious. So yeah, so that's it. That's all I got.